All right, so do you guys remember what happened last time that you played? Do you remember what you did?
I don't remember what I did yesterday.
Last time you guys, you explored Barez a little bit more. You found that like mansion that you had kind of not totally explored. You like went in there and you like kicked rocks, literally. You kicked and shoveled rocks, and found you spent like 4 hours shoveling rocks out of a like stairwell to find a basement that was completely empty and useless. That was fun.
I'm
Um,
really sorry about that, you guys.
and now it's nighttime, which is why you're gonna have to camp. Uh, but yeah, you found a lot of nothing in there. You found some giant snakes. You found that pen of like goats, and I don't know if you guys remember all the skulls that were atop this pen that started screaming when you touched them. That was weird, right? Um, I think was it Sindra who like went up and touched one of the skulls?
I think so.
Probably.
I think
And
so.
it was just like, ah! And they all started being and then the goats started freaking out. And nothing really happened, but it was for sure weird. You also looted the tiny the tiny hut, the hut, the creepy hut, and found a bunch of stuff. Another big thing that you did was you rescued Laura, Jenny's sister, and Jenny came and helped heal her and took her passed out body on her little cart with Toady, and they scampered on off. You didn't really get to talk much to Laura because she was super duper passed out, but she seemed like she was going to live at the very least, so that was pretty cool. You guys also talked with one of the members of the Markov family, with one of the Ravens. You ended up talking to Elvin, who is one of the sons of Davian, and he's brother to Erwin, who is the innkeeper at the Blue Water Inn. And Elvin basically was trapped in one of those giant cages outside of Baba's house. And Elvin like turned into his human form, and he was like, "Whoa, you guys, wow, you got the seed, it's good." And you guys were like, "Yeah," and Elvin was like, "Can I take that? Like, can we go like plant it back at the Wizard of Wise?" And y'all were like, "Yeah." And then he like picked it up with his little tiny bird talons and he like flew away. And that was cool. And then you were left with the final important task of figuring out what the F and F to do with this giant skull that you somehow are trying to transport back to Argynvost, or Argynvost Holt, I should say. And you guys came up with some interesting ideas. I personally was a big fan of the goat sled. Didn't happen, but we came up with another equally interesting idea, which was to just levitate it and push it and like see what happens. And that appears to kind of be working. So you guys are levitating this thing off the ground above the bogginess, and you're pushing it towards.
We have a spirit steed pulling it.
Oh, the spirit steed. That's right.
Phantom
It looks a
Steed.
little cooler than that. Yeah.
It's
The
way
spirit
cooler.
steed
Phantom
is
steed.
pulling it, not pushing.
Danny, I think you need to describe what the Phantom Steed looks like in Barovia.
Okay, so the Phantom Steed, like based off of what it would normally look like, it's just like a purpley, like mystical looking horse that appears a little bit smoky, and when you like touch it, does it have like texture or okay, I'll describe what it looks like in Barovia. So in Barovia, the Phantom Steed, instead of being purple, it is a shade of dark matte gray. The whole thing almost looks like it was drawn with like a charcoal pencil. It just is this dark mass. And in little bits and pieces, there are skin pieces that are pulled and hanging off of the steed. So you can see some of its bones throughout the like rib cage. Its hair is like long, grayish black draped down to one side, and the ends of its hair are like slightly smoky. So as it moves, like the hair is like smoking as it goes by, and same with its tail. So it's basically like this horrifying looking, deadly, skeletal kind of horse, and it has piercing, icy blue eyes.
I bet he's nice.
Yeah. And what's his name?
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Horse has no name.
And his name is Jimmy.
Jimmy, the no-name horse.
His name is Jimmy. In my other campaign that I play, I'm a player. I summon like dire tigers. Is like that's kind of my thing. And the dire tiger's name is Jeff. It's like a different tiger a lot of the time, but it's still always Jeff. Although over time, I believe that I build a spiritual connection with the same spiritual dire tiger, and so it is the same one that keeps going back. So it actually makes sense that it would always be Jeff.
F.A.
I digress. Hefe. It's turning to Hefe, and then when I summon a second one, his name is Hefe Dos because I can summon two. Anyways, I digress. Jimmy, wait, the horse with no name or Jimmy? It is Kane that gets to decide.
This is the first time I've summoned him, so there's no name right now.
No name yet. But if he gets summoned again, maybe he'll be coming.
Maybe. Depends on how well he behaves.
All right. No name is pulling the giant skull, the giant dragon skull behind him. All right. So tonight, this evening, in the mire, the air is misty as always, but there is a stillness to it. Generally, in Barovia, the mists are swirling, they're in and out, they are fluid, but tonight, it kind of just feels like thick, heavy stillness, like damp, but still. And it's getting late. In fact, it's so late that you guys are gonna definitely need to camp. So I'm gonna let you guys camp and figure out how you want to do that. I'm assuming that maybe Kane will want to make a tiny hut, but if that is the decision amongst the group, tell me about the furnishings. Tell me about what you guys are gonna make for dinner tonight. Maybe reflect on some of the past struggles, some of the triumphs, maybe the dangers that lie ahead of you. Theorize about the things that have happened. Maybe talk about what the heck was that with Baba? What was up with that crazy lady? What about Laura? What was that about? That was weird, right? And what's to come? Maybe a plan of action. What are we gonna do? Like, where are we gonna go? Like, how do we process all this information? Am I loopy? Is that me? I'm loopy.
Are you
No.
what?
You're doing great. I love the energy.
So many people today have been like, "You okay?"
You're on a lot of drugs right now.
I mean,
Wait, you got drugs? I need some of those.
I'm on Robitussin, Mucinex,
whoa,
Advil.
whoa,
Nathan's new voice.
the hard stuff, huh?
Got drugs.
Where are the drugs?
I'm gonna
Wait,
call
can
you
you do that one
OTC
again?
Danny.
Yeah, that's it.
The group prepares to make camp for the evening.
What did? Well, yeah. Are we doing a tiny hut? I guess remove.
Or we can go
Probably.
into the basement where it's nice and warm.
I don't think
presumably.
it is. Why would it be warm down there?
It's a basement. Like
Basements
no
are
draft.
warm for you.
Well, there's no draft coming in from the
No
outside.
No draft in the
right?
basement.
We already
Those
left.
women could come back though.
We already left the house like a long time.
Oh, we're on the road now. In
We're,
the swampy
like-
road.
Yeah, we're on the swamp road with a phantom steed leading the way, dragging a giant.
Okay,
Right.
I thought
I
we were
kind of
just
like
starting
the
off.
idea of Sug being like, "I'm tired. I'm going back to the basement." Just like, howdy.
I guess I'll curl up and sleep under this bog or something. With the gentle
I
waves.
will say that
marsh.
Kane he does begin, after we all kind of decide it is getting a little late and the night is dark and full of terrors. So I begin my ritual of casting Tiny Hut. Upon completion of the ritual, you find
Wait, what is everyone else doing while Kane is casting Tiny
So
Hut
while
for 10 minutes?
while he's doing his thing,
you
I'm
can't
gonna
go
hunt
very
some
far. You
snakes.
have to be here, otherwise you can't come in, and you have to be here when it's cast. I'll
So I
I'll
just
just
have
say
to
that.
sit here and wait for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I
Let's
know.
roleplay the 10 minutes. Go.
Go.
I'm just gonna like try to like look around the radius of the tiny hut and see if I can find some sort of stump to sit on and like pout.
You find no stump.
If I know some. There's no rocks. There's nothing.
You find
How high
you
is the
are
water?
the
Like
stump.
is it on
It's
my
it's
ankles?
about, like probably by now it's probably like mid, maybe just half. So probably like a foot or so, maybe a little bit less.
I'm just thinking like I need to change my socks and like like right now.
Well, I'm gonna roll to see if you find a rock or a stump.
Okay.
I love the idea of you changing your socks and then
You find no
immediately
rock
standing
or
up in the swamp.
You find nothing.
Find
Damn it.
nothing.
I think similarly concerned, Ramis will just like try to like sit in the eye socket of the dragon's skull or something.
You want to sit in the eye socket, like in the carved out head,
Just,
you
like,
mean?
lean back and wait.
You lean back. Now, levitate, is that a concentration spell?
Question, give me a second. I'll get back to you on that.
Because I think Tiny Hut requires concentration, so you're gonna have to drop that thing
Yeah.
to Tiny Hut.
Well, it would have already dropped before Ramis
Dropped.
climbed it.
Yeah. So it's all in the like ground. It's like a slightly submerged in water, and you're gonna like kind of half get in.
Yeah, or just like
Yeah.
get out of the water.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, I guess technically speaking, Zug, you don't find a stump or a rock, but there is a dragon skull.
Is it far enough or is it close enough to the tiny hut ritual?
Yeah, it's really right there. Yeah.
Okay, I will climb atop.
Zug has already climbed inside of the. So are you gonna sit on top of Zug or?
It was my idea. So I can do it.
It's true.
I push him out
He
of
asked
the way.
first,
I
but it
push him
was
out of
your
the way.
idea. Okay.
How about
Yeah. Yeah, levitates concentration.
Probably only one person could fit in it, especially in Zug's side.
Levitates concentration. Tiny Hut is not concentration, but levitate is.
Oh,
Levitate.
so you can cast Tiny Hut while you are casting Levitate.
Right. Yeah.
It's a ritual.
Yes.
So you just like have both arms outcast, like
Like while staring
maintaining
at the dragon
levitate
skull.
and like constructing this tiny hut.
I'm already casted. I just have to concentrate on the levitate. A ritual is fairly trivial for Kane to cast. It doesn't take a slot or anything like that. He's basically keeping the levitate going and flipping through his book and reciting some lovely whatever arcane language it is that he's reading from his book.
I'm
Ah,
gonna leave
Zug.
the skull.
could you perhaps begin preparing dinner with Sidra? It doesn't look as though Ramis is all that engaged right now.
Is the hut
Zug will
done?
perk up
If we can.
and he's gonna get this bright idea and he's gonna run over to Sindra and he's like, let's eat some snakes.
Wait, did you keep
Snakes,
the
huh?
snakes from before that you cut in half?
You
Like,
are
ripped in half?
Snake whips?
You are on the path that you came down on. Which means
Yeah.
like if you looked hard enough, you might be able to find those snake bodies that you chopped in half and bit
Okay.
earlier,
Yeah.
Doug. I might remind
I think that's a good idea, Zug. Let's go find some snakes.
Let's go on an adventure.
you. Would you
Yeah,
like to search for snakes in the bog at night.
Yeah.
just for like a little bit.
I didn't know we were going to have combat tonight, but it looks like things have changed.
No, there's not gonna be no combat. I'm gonna
You
sneak up
find the
and
snake
stab 'em.
corpses with very little effort.
Wow. Good
Is
stuff.
that relative, very little effort, or like maximum Zug effort? Like how much does
Relative to effort as a concept. No effort. Not relative to Zug specifically. Oh no, I broke Kane.
Doesn't take much these days.
Are you super sick too?
I'm coming back down from my sickest, but it's not great.
Getting better. Same.
So I will drag the snake carcasses back.
Do you,
And,
do you want help carrying them, or do you got it?
Hey, if you want to whip that, I mean, yeah, you can. Here you go.
Thanks. Throw it over my shoulder and we'll go back to
I'm
camp.
gonna take it as we're walking. I'm gonna grab both ends and kind of twirl it and like whip each other.
You're gonna turn the snake corpse into like a towel that you whip Cinder with.
I'm tenderizing
Cintra's
it.
going to fight back with a fury Zug has never seen before.
Oh.
There's fear in my eyes as I'm trying to deflect these whip blows.
Okay, you guys are whipping each other with snake bodies.
Yep. As
Didn't
one
think it
does.
would come to this in my campaign, but here we are.
Right.
I'm gonna go right
It's
up
the,
to
it's the filler anime episode.
Full episode that no one asked for.
There's no manga equivalent to this.
Oh my god. It hurts to laugh this much. Okay. Meanwhile, what are Kane and Ramiz talking about?
I think Ramis is like idly talking to himself because he knows Kane is like concentrating. So Ramis has cast Unseen Servant and is having it massage him while he sits atop the skull. And he's kind of talking to the horse with no name.
Yes.
Um,
I never wanted Magic Mouth more than this moment.
and Ramis is like, oh, what a day. This tiny hut couldn't appear soon enough, my friend. I almost died back there. But the funny thing is, in Barovia, the longer I stay here, it seems the more of my training I remember. New spells are coming to me all the time. Not account for this.
Called Gruffing Ramiz.
It's called leveling up, Ramis. You're level 7 now, Ramis. And then he like notices a skin flap on the horse and says, "You are a disgusting creature." Under his
Damn.
and then he's like, as he leans into the Unseen Servant massaging his shoulders.
That's excellent.
Well done. Well done.
That's like 10 minutes.
That's pretty good. Okay, so Zug and Cinder make it back. Ramiz is enjoying his massage, and Kane is wrapping up his tiny hut spell.
In preparation for dinner, I will ask each one individually how they like their snake prepared. I will start with
Like this
Ramis.
snake.
I will go up to Ramis. I will show him my spoils of snake carcass and ask him, how would you like your snake a la Slither to be prepared tonight?
This is quite a euphemism, Zug. You could just ask me directly. But I kid, Zug. I kid. It has been a while since I've eaten snake flesh, but I have once before, and I seem to remember it tasted a little bit like chicken. So quite well roasted, I believe. I should say, yes.
Well roasted. All right. This one's probably going to taste like not so much chicken and swamp.
But even the dirtiest of fish taste nice at times, right? Like catfish. They eat shit, Doug.
No, that's dogfish.
Yes, that's right. Catfish eat vomit, right?
I will turn to my assistant cook, Sindra. Please
System.
note this down. Ramis would like well-roasted snake flesh.
Got it. What about Kane?
Let's sidle up to Kane while he's, I assume, still casting.
What did you manage to find there, Zug?
I will scoop.
Kane's got the swamp cold, man.
I will
Kane's
show him
now
the
like
snake
the
carcass.
Witcher.
Kane's Geralt
Yeah.
now, yeah.
He's now Geralt.
Do something like Geralt.
I will show him the snake carcass. And say will be having snake a la Slither with some marinated in some, and I'll like scoop up some like bottled water. Just run it along.
Kane's going to look with a raised eyebrow at what Zug's doing. Look back at Zug. Look back at what Zug's doing. Then look over at Ramis and say,
Oh, yeah. It's not a euphemism. This is actually for dinner.
Ramis, perhaps we should break out the rations.
Yes, about that. We have no ration.
Zug ate them all.
Why do we have no rations, Zug?
I'm gonna point to Sindra. Sindra stole them all.
Do we really not have any rations? I'm pretty sure we have plenty of rations right now.
No, Zug ate them.
It sounds like Zug ate them.
Zug doesn't have the bag.
He
Kane's
stole
had the
them.
bag, you son of a
Stole.
bitch.
Who does have the bag?
Kane's had the bag the whole
Kane
time.
Yeah.
Sounds like Zug's had the bag at some point.
Yeah. I like the Zug ate them narrative.
You can have the scraps of the rations left over while we will be enjoying this snake well roasted.
Also still has the other snake. So if you guys want it bog marinade free, we can arrange that.
Yeah, if you want it like raw, you can have Sindra's snake.
They've all been in the bog, correct? So well roasted for me, please. For that reason specifically.
Is there any place to like make a fire? Or it sounds like no.
Don't know how much of a desecration it would be to light a fire on top of the skull, but
I hear that you can do fires in tiny huts.
You can.
In fact, I feel like you can get full furnishings in tiny huts, if I remember correctly.
what happens to the smoke in a tiny hut? Is there a chimney?
Is there a chimney? Can we make a chimney?
Asking these
Anything-
weird questions.
Anything that is in the tiny hut can leave the tiny hut as if the tiny hut does not exist.
Can you make a pizza?
And at this
oven?
point in time, the tiny hut cast is complete.
Okay.
Nice. So the dome appears and then disappears from our perspective, being inside the tiny hut. We make sure that the tiny hut can't probably contain the skull and all of us, I would imagine. I don't know how big the skull is, but if that's the case, then the skull's just outside and we're all inside. You notice that the furnishings within the tiny hut seem to have been inspired by a recent archmage that we've met and his mansion. Everything looks quite similar, quite opulent to the point.
Decadent.
Yes, decadent, as though, in fact, it were a building of Barovia that had not fallen into disrepair. There's a couple.
And you can
there's-
see out as well.
Yes, it looks odd because the floor of the tiny hut is actually wooden planks like you would find in an actual building, and it is up above the water. So we're all totally dry. The temperature and the humidity level is perfect in here for all of us to be comfortable. And there's no wind or breeze flowing through, though the air smells fresh.
That is a boon.
Also,
while I am in the room.
I believe. I mean, there's nothing specific in here about any of this, but if Danny allows it, we can say that we have a wood stove in the middle of the room.
Yeah, you can make a fire in the tiny hut.
Yeah.
Nice.
Totally, you can cook.
Cool. Cindra's gonna start slicing up some snake steak.
Some
Steak?
snake fillets.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like snake steak. I like that. I like the alliteration. Makes it taste better.
That's right.
I'm just gonna do honks of like sections. I'm gonna cut it up into 4 pieces, equal pieces, and I'm gonna rummage around for some from some spices, maybe some like breadcrumbs from the
How
bottom
good
of
of
the
a cook
bag.
is Zug?
I mean, I don't even know
Oh,
what
I
skill
think I
you'd
have
use for that.
proficiency. I think I have
Do you?
proficiency. I think so. Let me look. D&D Beyond is being very slow.
Yes, because everyone's canceling their subscriptions right now.
Rough.
Yeah.
Tools. I have cook utensils.
Having utensils doesn't make you a good
Yeah.
cook,
It's the first step, though.
Zug.
Sure, you're more qualified than the
I
rest.
guess I don't have proficiency in it. It
Okay,
just
I'll take a
says-
d20 from both Sindra and Zug to see how delicious the meal is.
Okay.
Oh wait, I can roll on.
Each of yours. You guys each kind of made a slightly different style. Let's see which one
Mhm.
tastes better.
Or are we having like Iron Chef right now?
This is chopped now.
Ooh,
What'd you get?
19.
Damn.
It's a little salty, but you know it. Everybody loves it.
Oh, this shit is umami.
That swamp water trickle.
Um,
Me.
I made
I got
that
a 10.
snake sweat.
Got a 10? All right, so you guys try both the different snake steaks, and Zug's tastes professional. Like, this is really good. Like, it's better than tavern food.
The pinnacle
The
of
pinnacle.
our cuisine for the last 2 years.
That's the best you've had. Do you guys remember when you had that wolf stew? It was delicious.
No,
Um,
we had wonderful food at the fake Lady Fiditov.
That's true. You
Oh,
had
We
amazing-
immediately were violently ill. So
that's true. Pros and cons. Pros and cons. You also had incredible stew from the abbot.
Oh yeah.
Kane didn't eat that stew.
Oh, you didn't eat the stew. It tasted very good.
That was made of people, that's why.
It
Kane didn't
tasted
trust that guy.
really
Yeah.
good.
he had dog people on site. Like Kane was pretty sure that that was not a great plan. Although
You-
Zug
You
loved
still
it.
don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
You still don't know. But this tastes really good. This tastes like pretty dang good.
Mm.
Not as good as the feast that you had at Lady Fiditop's, but like very good. And then you try Syndra's and you're like, this tastes like a snake steak that came from a bog.
You're welcome, guys.
Thank you, Sindra. Maybe
you,
you should stick to killing things, though.
Why are we eating these dry hardtack rations all the time when you can cook like this? Okay.
So maybe you should start cooking and stop killing things.
I'm usually too drunk to cook. If that's a thing.
Where's all the wine gone?
Good thing there's a wine drought. Perhaps you can cook more.
I would love to cook more. I'm glad you recognize my talent. It makes me feel appreciated in this group. I'm not just a shield wall, you know?
The group shares a moment of appreciation for Zug's cooking skills and enjoys the delicious meal.
I want you guys to call me Orc Bay from now on.
Orc Bay.
How about Bog Bay?
Just 2 different bodies of water.
Trickle of bog water.
Let's start a food truck out of our dragon skull in the bog.
Yeah, let's just derail the whole campaign and turn it into a food truck simulator. We'll just drive around Barovia with the Phantom Steed and the skull.
I
Bog
support
water.
this.
Bog water
Yeah.
tank.
I love my beef bone bog stew.
Dinner comes to an end, and it is now there's a moment of reflection that you all share for the day's activities.
I'll just say to the group, I'm glad we found that acorn-like magic seed. We're one step closer to a full wine production in Barovia.
Most definitely.
Thinking about those ultimate goals.
I suppose that is the most important thing for Barovia at this point. Though won't it be several seasons until we get to see any of that wine?
Yeah, feels like we've already been here too many seasons.
Perhaps.
Wineless.
Hmm.
How long have we been here?
Like
Do we
2
know that?
months.
2 months.
2 months without wine.
Basically an eternity.
Not that long.
Only 2 months, yeah.
Maybe a few. It's like somewhere around 2 to 3, I'd say.
Feels way longer than that.
So where are we taking that skull again?
Back to Argenvoshult, where we met the
Did you say something, Sintra?
Coughed.
the whites.
The whites.
Hmm.
You're gonna have to spur my memory, Remis.
There was a very hostile one, and then a nicer one. One of their names was Godfrey.
Yeah.
One was very imposing and threatened to kill us. This doesn't ring a bell.
Sorry, man. I'm kind of.
We were the last bastion of defense against Strahd. They all died fighting him. We were. This was very important to us only a couple days ago.
They were spiders.
Oh,
Yeah.
spiders.
There were spiders that you wanted to fight. I said no, we shouldn't.
I can
You
make
said yes,
a
please.
wonderful spider souffle. If that is on the way, that will make your day.
I can't imagine a way to make spiders more horrifying.
You'll love it. Don't worry.
Definitely gonna keep my eye out for spiders now on our trip.
Yes, perhaps when we deliver the skull, we could also deliver you the necessary ingredients for souffle.
We'll try to collect some spices along the way.
Speaking of, what did you spice the snake with? Was it just fire?
That is a chef's secret. I
respect
did a
this.
little herb picking while I was fetching the snake carcass from the bog water. So wonder what some underwater grasses can do to charred meat.
Yeah, I never would have known. Yes, quite good, quite good. Or perhaps we just haven't had good food in a long time. Not to discredit you, but
No, I understand. That's something we all consider. Being here 2 months without wine. What does wine even taste like now? I've forgotten.
do we have any bottles left? I can't look up my character sheet, so I can't tell, but I feel like we have some bottles.
I don't think we do.
I feel like we have a bottle.
Bottles? Like what kind of bottles?
Wine.
Oh, wine bottles? No, I don't think we have anything good left. Oh, wait, no. There was one we got from Lady Fitidov, wasn't there?
Thought we got some wine somewhere.
I don't remember.
You got one, but you drink it like immediately.
I don't know. If only I could look at my character sheet. All right. Well, in that case, Hermes won't pour it.
Did we ever?
Ramesh will depart to go outside the tiny hut to like pee or something. I don't know.
He's going to pee outside.
I'm gonna go.
Drop the kids off at the bog.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'll let you guys keep going.
Mm,
You all sit there silently and stare at each other.
You guys got any
So-
secrets?
I was gonna say, what other dishes can you cook that you've been hiding from us for all this time?
I've been eyeing those wolves. I can make a mean wolf flank.
Well, test that out.
Problem is, I need some
Mean
Why?
wolves.
wolves. Yeah, multiple wolves. You take multiple wolves, and you combine their meat into one flank.
How does that work?
Like a wolf
It's a-
meatloaf.
Yeah.
Wolf loaf.
wolf.
Ew.
I should have expected this. I'm like, you guys should
Gross.
talk about all the things that happened and all the perils and all the things that lie ahead. And you're like, what food can you make?
It's hard for me.
It was
And I
very
want to know what
difficult.
kind of food he can make. Yeah.
If anything, the burning question in my mind is who that large lady was. And why she was so hostile.
Large lady.
The one with the kid in the door slammed Ramesh like 20 feet away. Probably
Mm.
broke a few ribs and his
The
nose.
old woman we killed.
hat?
Oh
the
yeah, that
witch?
one. Yes, that one. Was she a witch?
Dude.
I mean, it
don't-
kind of makes sense. She's out in the
mean-
middle of nowhere in a hut that comes alive.
He was definitely a witch.
I would think so.
I mean,
With
that
the-
makes sense.
The ghost baby and the lady on the ceiling and the house with the legs
Mm.
and the glowing seed underneath it that gave it its power to walk around and kill us.
Concerning how normalized, like a woman impaled on the ceiling is starting to become.
I mean, part of the job. Yeah.
I remember when we first came here, I still think about that lady giving out pies.
Do you miss that drug pie?
I just wanted to stop her. I wanted to be the good orc, Conflicted on eating pies, conflicted on stopping the pies.
Zug has actually had a couple of dreams about her.
Has he?
Uh-oh.
Our first real, brush with danger. I don't consider that manner with the weird looking ghost twins. Not to be not important. Pie lady.
Do we know that Zug has had dreams like that?
No, I just made that up right now, but he has.
Okay, so
He
we're
can
not
tell you if
supposed
he wants to.
Okay.
Occasionally I dream about the pie lady. How helpless I am.
Yeah.
Like throwing a punch and it's just incredibly weak.
Oh, good. That turned favorably.
It brings up like a pie buckler. And I wanna break the crust of the pie, but I'm too weak.
We
It just frustrates me.
did we that was so long ago. I'm trying to remember if we knew where she was going. Like, did we follow her? No, because she just left.
No, she threatened us.
Yeah, that's right.
We back down.
We
were
did, because
cowards.
Danny told us that if we didn't back down, we were all dead.
We would become the next pie filling.
Hmm.
We left her to plague that town. This memory haunts me not in my dreams, but while I wake.
Back to your dreams, Zug. Is that a recurring dream that you've had, or have they been different dreams each time?
It's different dreams with the same theme of the pie lady being unable to
losing your
stop
strength?
her. Yeah. Frustrating.
Interesting.
Can I get perception checks from the group? Everyone,
Hmm.
roll perception.
I don't know any of my stats.
I can tell you your stats if you give me a minute.
13.
22.
Ooh.
Uh, 16.
Oh my god, D&D behind you suck. +4.
22.
Nice. We got a couple 22s in there.
Which of you two has higher agility base?
Higher base agility out of all of us, or
Two of you.
definitely I would think Ramiz. Let's see. Ramiz has agility is, you mean dexterity. His is a +3. Mine is a +3. We're saying
Ooh. Tied and tied.
Okay. Each of you suddenly
Oh.
sees a small, unusual shadow outside of the tiny hut.
oh no.
You notice something move, and it seems like there might be something out there.
Interesting.
Tiny shadow, you said.
Small shadow.
I'm gonna send my owl out up above in that direction to look down and see if I can spot anything. And I'll look over at Ramiz. Did you see it too?
I was like, Kane, did you see that too? Oh, one.
The owl flies out of the tiny hut and soars up above, and it sees a small humanoid figure moving kind of quickly through the bog, and as in a pretty stealthy fashion. Noticing it, you kind of just see it moving like it looks like a shadow even from a close-ish distance, and it's coming towards the hut. And as soon as the owl gets close enough to see the figure, you hear a voice come from outside. And it screams and it screams, "Ha! I know you are in there." And you will immediately recognize
Does that sound like
the voice
Jenny?
as Esmeralda.
Oh,
Esmeralda
how the fuck did she find us?
crawling through the fucking swamp.
Crawling through the swamp at night, probably 9-10 p.m. in the dark. And she says, "Nobody would be foolish enough to make camp here except for my friends."
It's funny that we're inside this hut and she's not. It's probably a much better camp inside than it is out there where she is.
Probably.
Are you enjoying the bog water and wet socks?
Can she hear you outside the hut?
Only if we choose.
If
I
you choose to.
Yeah.
I choose to.
She says, "Well, are you going to let me in or what? I'm soaked."
What's the magic password?
She says, "I don't know."
Wow, that was really good. First guess. Come on inside.
Je ne sais pas.
Are we able to let her in? Is she able?
I don't know. I'm actually looking it up right now. Actually, yes, I can't leave and re-enter at will, but I can allow creatures in.
All right.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast the spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. So no, she can't come in.
Never mind, you can't come in.
I can lower the dome and remake it.
We're just like explaining this.
I can RP this
really kind of
with
a
I can
pain.
RP this with it and be like, listen, if I drop this dome, I gotta make it again. What's it worth to you?
He says, you should certainly make it again.
What have you got for us?
Snake stakes.
We already.
Are you gonna stick around and help us for once?
It's freezing.
What are you doing
this
out
over
here
with
without
already.
without proper supplies? As this is horrible. This is not setting a good example.
So you do remember that she has like a carriage that she travels with. You don't see it right now, but you probably make an assumption that it's not that far away.
Yeah. As can we sleep in your carriage instead of the dome?
It's like, I want to know what is inside of here. I cannot see you.
It's actually pretty sweet, I'll be honest.
I think at this point, Luis will step out of the window. Pretty desperate. You say this is bold of us to sleep out in the open, but it seems quite bold of you to pursue us.
I'm not pursuing you. This is just a happy accident. She says, plus, I travel better in the dark.
Cinder gets it.
So you may think, though we spotted you from a ways away.
Did you now? I have been stalking you for a while.
We won't compare notes, but
She looks at Ramis and she notices like that you look pretty beat up. And she looks concerned for a moment. Like she's like laughing and snickering at you, but then she kind of stops and like she like has genuine concern on her face. What happened to you?
I'm fine. I just need to rest, that's all.
Roll for
Deception?
deception.
That's like my best skill. I don't know what my deception is, but it's probably like plus fucking 10.
We'll say it's like a 5.
It's definitely more than 5. My deception is higher than 5,
Really?
but I can't tell you what it is.
Okay. But you still rolled pretty high.
Oh my god.
She squinches her nose and she says, if you say so. She says, I have some important information to share that I think you will all find very useful. And with that, we will end our session here.
What?
What?
We're just getting started.
There's 7. We said we're gonna do an hour. So you guys made snake steaks.
Snake steaks.
And we'll decide if you're going to rebuild your tiny hut to hear this important information. That
Oh no,
ends
we can end the session on a funny note. Kane, knowing he's going to have to lower this hut, looks over at Syndra and like nods upward at her and then winks and then snaps his fingers and kills the dome. Hopefully Syndra got the hint.
Wait,
Did Cinder react in time?
There's a floor of
To not fall on
wooden
her
floorboards.
ass.
You've been into the
kinda
water.
dunked on.
Into the water.
Dexterity check with advantage from Syndra. Dexterity check with disadvantage from Zug. To see if you fall in the water.
You're dunking the chef?
Everything's getting dunked right now.
Ooh. 4.
Zug loses his footing out from underneath him and falls butt first in the water.
My socks.
I got a nat 20.
Cinder like does a
Think I'm
backflip
all right.
She stands
and
on the
lands on
water.
one foot in the water like a graceful flamingo.
Nice.
We'll make a flamingo fillet out of you.
Middle of the night in the bog in the water with Ez.
Cool.
And it's cool. And
That's the first moment she got to see the rest of us.
Yeah, and she's like, what the, and, what the heck? And that will do it for today. And next time you will learn about what information she has to burning in your brains that she has to tell you.
Nice.
Apparently, it's important enough to not seek us out.
Yeah, no, she didn't intentionally come here.
It's just a happy accident.
Learned it's a happy accident, but she still does have something to share.
That's what she says.
That's what she said.
Sounds like she was lonely.
What?
Yeah. And I'm going to send you guys some dreams that you're going to have tonight. So you can just like think about them and ponder them. They don't play any significant role in what we're going to do in our next session.
Cool.
I'll send you those later. I still need to finish writing all of them because I've only written half of them. So, okay. And next time, I assume we're going to probably talk with Ez and then sleep. And it sounded like you guys were off with the Steed to Argynvost Halt was your next plan, as assuming information doesn't require urgent attention.
Doesn't waylay us.